you're sabotaging your business. How? Because you just guessed your prices, and now every time you make a sale, you're barely keeping any of that money. Well, today we are going to change that because we are talking all about how to price your products to ensure that you keep a profit. Stay tuned. Babes, I'm Chanel the Brand Hustler, and this is the channel for all of my hustle babes who are interested in gaining insight on the entrepreneur journey while learning essential marketing and business tips for their brand. If that sounds like you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the Hustle Babe community because we are almost to 10K, y'all. That is so freaking exciting. As you guys may know, I teach ambitious women with bomb products how to establish and expand their brands. And something that I've realized is that a lot of people underestimate the power of pricing. Your pricing can single-handedly influence how others perceive and interact with your brand. So imagine if a company like Dior took their $4,000 handbag and lowered it down to $10 in an effort to compete with Walmart. Number one, the thing that would happen is that they would lose money because I'm pretty sure those $4,000 handbags cost way more than $10 to make. And number two is people would lose interest in their brand and in their products because their perceived value of Dior would immediately go down due to the very low pricing that they're pricing their bags at. And that right there is the importance of having a pricing strategy that matches your brand and ensures profit, because without a pricing strategy like that, you're pretty much setting up your business to fail. So today I'm going to teach you the importance of having a solid pricing strategy, the 4 C's of pricing, and I'm going to teach you the things that you need to include in your own pricing formula when you're actually creating prices for your product. But before I start the video, make sure that you comment below and tell me what your current pricing strategy is. Do you have one? If you do, what is that strategy? And if you don't, comment below and tell me you don't have one. I just want to see where you're at before you watch the video, and don't cheat and fast forward and then try to comment. Comment right now before watching the rest of the video so I can see where your head was at before you actually watched it. Now, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the 3 reasons why you should have a pricing strategy in the first place. The first reason is because it removes the guesswork. Basically, every single time you order something from your vendor and it comes to your doorstep of either your house or your warehouse, you pretty much know how much that item is going to cost because you have a pricing strategy in place. You can pretty much use the pricing strategy you've used for all of your other products, run that formula with this product, and then you have a price. The other reason you want to take out the guesswork is because obviously you're in business to grow. You want to scale, and with scaling comes hiring people, growing your team, getting staff. And so without a pricing strategy in place, you're going to be stuck with coming up with the prices every single time you decide that you want to release a new product, which can pretty much ruin or stomp your growth, okay? Because you want to be able to pass on that task to someone else and have them use the strategy or the formula you've put in place to price the products for you. The second reason why it's important for you to have a pricing strategy is because it provides consistency. After a while, your customers become accustomed to a certain price range. If you're just leapfrogging from price to price, your customers will never know what to expect and therefore don't know if they can afford it or how much to save up for it or anything like that. Instead, if you have a pricing strategy in place, your brand will develop a price range on its own, and your customers will then develop their perceived value for your product and for your brand. They can then use that perceived value to communicate to other people about your business and your products because they know the price range that your products are usually in. And a good example of that is the Walmart versus Target conversation, or the Macy's versus JCPenney conversation. You know that when you are talking or referring someone to Target or to Walmart, you can easily bring up the price range, knowing that Walmart will probably be cheaper than Target, but Target has a higher quality and it will be more expensive than Walmart because they've developed a pricing strategy within their brand that they stick to, and it's generated consistency so that their customers can develop a perceived value for their brand and can communicate that perceived value to others to basically build the trust within their brand and bring in some new customers for them. The third reason why you want to have a pricing strategy is because it ensures profit, okay? So if you are just guessing your prices, you are basically slapping a number on something. And for my people who are like, well, I look at other people's prices and base my prices off of that. Okay, you're blindly slapping a number on your product based off of what you see another brand doing, which for you may not work, because another brand's cost of getting that product or making that product can be very different than the cost that you are going to actually incur, okay? And so a good example of this is, let's say that you actually get a product that costs you $9 to get, right? And you slap a price of $10 on it because you see that a competitor has that product or a similar product for $10. You then end up making only $1 out of that sale because you got it for $9, you're selling it for $10 to keep up with the Joneses. You've made $1, and pretty much that dollar turns into negative for your business, because in business you have things like fixed expenses and variable expenses that eat up some of your profit. And if you have no idea what fixed or variable expenses are, then I definitely suggest you subscribe and turn on your post notifications, because in my next video I am talking all about how to ensure profit with your marketing strategies, with your expenses, and all of that jazz. We are breaking that down in the next video, so you definitely want to make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because in that video I do explain what fixed and variable expenses are. Now, the next thing that I want to go over is the 4 C's of pricing. All right, and so the 4 C's of pricing are basically factors that you want to think about when it comes to generating what your actual pricing strategy will be, okay? And so the first C of pricing is your cost. So how much does it actually cost to get this product from the vendor? Or how much does it actually cost to make this product? If you're someone that sells handmade skincare or handmade cosmetics, how much do those materials actually cost you? You want to think about that before you just slap a random price on something. You also want to think about how you're going to package the product and what's the cost of that, because depending on what you're selling, you may need a special type of packaging. If I'm selling wine glasses, I'm going to need to invest in bubble mailers and packing popcorns, you know, all this other stuff, versus someone who's just selling clothes. They just need to slide something into a box or poly mailer and they would probably be fine, okay? So you want to think about cost. The second C you want to think about is your competition. So what price ranges do your competitors actually have their products listed in, right? But you want to go deeper than that. You want to think about and explore why they are within a certain price range. What features about their product do they have or do they not have that allow them to price their product like that? So bringing up another example, you may see that Herbal Essences has shampoo for $3, but if you are hand making your shampoo with all natural ingredients that you are getting from the farmer's market, you cannot price your shampoo for $3, because so much more time, so much money has gone into actually creating this handmade all natural shampoo, right? You cannot price that at $3 like Herbal Essences just because. So when you look at Herbal Essences, look at what their price range is and why they can price it within that. That allows you to understand what is actually included in their product versus what is included in your product, and why you have the ability to charge more or less based on that. The third C that you want to take into account are your customers. So what do your customers expect? If you are trying to develop a high-end luxury feel with your brand, maybe those people expect to pay a higher amount, because honestly, there are some people in this world that won't shop at Walmart a day in their life. They won't buy anything lower than a certain amount at all because they want a certain quality. So if you are targeting people like that, you need to learn what their lifestyle is like and what they're accustomed to make sure that you are pricing your products within a price range that they will naturally accept. Same thing goes for if you're trying to price it for people who are bargain hunters. They won't buy certain things over a certain price. So you need to understand their thought process, their lifestyle, and price your products within a range that they will naturally accept. And then the last C of pricing is your company. So I just talked about your brand a little bit and what you want your customers to feel, what you want that experience to be like. That is pretty much what this C is all about. So it is determining what your actual brand value is, what you want people to feel, think, all of that about your brand, right? What do you want your brand to stand for? So think about your purpose, think about what your mission is, what your values are, all of that stuff, and then use that to think about your pricing, okay? So obviously, if we use the Walmart example again, they wanted their brand to be super affordable. They wanted people to be able to get their everyday items for everyday low prices. So obviously, knowing that, they know that they cannot price certain things within a certain price range because their brand stands for everyday low prices. And so the last part of this video that I want to share with you is the different things that you should be incorporating into your actual formula when it comes to creating your pricing strategy. But before we get into that, I do want to do something special today. So I got this package in my P.O. box, and I wanted to open it on camera to see what it is. I have absolutely no idea what it is, so I thought, why not open it on camera? So I got this to my P.O. box, which I'll put the P.O. box on the screen just in case you want to send me something. And I got it from Natural Black Girl, and it seems like they're based in Michigan. So let's see what she sent me, if I could open it. All right, so it looks like she sent me Hydrate Serum that I'm supposed to apply to my face twice a day for best results. So this is actually 100% natural. So this is the serum that she sent me. It's a facial serum with all natural goodies in there. And if you can see the bottom, you can actually see the leaves that are in this bottle. Like, look at that. So natural, 100%. It contains argan oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, sweet almond oil, and dried rose petals. And so this is from Natural Black Girl. The CEO is Juanita Brown, and her Instagram is _naturalblackgirl, and her website is www.naturalblackgirl.com. I'll put that on the screen. She was established in 2018 and wants women to feel empowered and beautiful. So check her out. I'm definitely going to check this out. I'm going to look at her website to see what the benefits are for using this oil, and I'm definitely going to use it, and I'll keep y'all updated with what that actually looks like. Now let's get into the factors you actually want to think about when it comes to creating your formula or your pricing strategy. So we pretty much covered why it's important to have a pricing strategy in the first place, and then I broke down the 4 C's of pricing, which, as you can see, relate heavily to your brand. So if you have absolutely no idea what your brand's identity is, what you stand for, your purpose, your mission, your values, your target audience, none of that, then it's about time for you to book a strategy session with me, okay? And the link is in my description. As always, you can book a strategy session with me, and we can go in depth about your brand and actually build your brand's foundation. But let's talk about the factors you want to think about when creating your prices. So the first factor you want to think about when creating your prices is the cost of making the product and getting it to you. So if you are making the products yourself, then this is easy. You are going to account for the cost of the materials, okay? And this is the cost of the materials per product that you are making. If you are getting the product from a vendor, the vendor is automatically going to give you a per unit price. You want to account for that inside of your actual pricing that you're going to charge your future customer. Another thing to include in that is, like I said, the price for getting it to you. So if you are ordering materials or you're ordering the finished product from a vendor, you want to think about the shipping that you're being charged, and you want to make sure that you're incorporating that shipping charge that you had to pay within the pricing for your product, because that will leave you a lot of room for profit. The second thing that you want to factor in when creating your prices is the cost of packaging the product and shipping it to your customer. So if you are big on visual branding, you are probably obsessed with cute packaging. You're obsessed with cute poly mailers, cute boxes, thank you cards, all of this stuff, which is great, but you need to make sure that you are accounting for that in your price. So all the things that make up your packaging and all the things that go into that box or that poly mailer that you're gonna ship to your customer, you want to make sure that you're including the cost of that into your price so that you have more room to make a profit. Okay? And if you are running something like a free shipping special, that is something that I honestly include in the pricing of my product. So whenever any of my clients or myself run any free shipping special or offer free shipping, I have already accounted for the price of shipping into my actual product. And then you also want to factor in seller fees. So number 3, factor in seller fees and possible adjustment. And so basically what seller fees are, they're fees that you're charged by your merchant or your website platform to actually sell this product and perform this transaction. So based on whatever platform or merchant services you're using, you will be charged a certain percentage, or some of them have a flat fee of like 90 cents or whatever that amount is. You need to find out that amount, and you need to make sure that you are accounting for that amount in your prices as well. Now, in terms of adjustments can be based on the popularity of a product, based on the quality of a material, all this stuff. And so basically what I mean by accounting for adjustments is if you know that something is super popular and there is a high demand but a low supply for it, and you have managed to either create or get your hands on a bulk of these products and you're going to sell it, you have the opportunity to account for that as an adjustment so that your price can be higher, okay? And so once you've gotten all of these factors together, so you factored in the cost of making your product and getting it to you, you factored in the cost of packaging and getting your product to the customer, and then you factor in the cost of seller fees and the probability of adjustments, you then have your total cost. You take that number and you basically multiply it by another number, and then that's how you get your pricing. And so a common rule of thumb is to multiply whatever that total cost is times 2, and then that will give you your price. Now, I don't fully believe in the times 2 method because, like I just said in the last section, a lot of it depends on your brand itself. So some brands have the ability to do times 5 or times 10 because their brand is a luxury brand, okay? Or because their brand is just of higher quality. So for example, you may see Fenty being able to sell the same product that you have at a higher value because Fenty has Rihanna backing it and they have a lot of celebrities backing it, and maybe the process and how they make their products is a little different. So they're able to multiply their total cost maybe by 4 or 5, right? So that really depends on your brand. So I don't fully believe in just the times 2 method, but that is usually like a good rule of thumb for you to start off with. But you want to include all the things that I talked about before this section. You want to include your cost, your competition, your customers, and your company into whatever that times number is. And so I know that this may be a little bit hard to follow, so what I did was I made an automatic spreadsheet that calculates your price for you and then tells you how much of that you're actually going to be able to keep after you make a sale, okay? And so if you want to get this free spreadsheet, I do have the link in my description box, and it does come with a free mini training where I explain how to use the spreadsheet to a T. So if you're interested in my free pricing and profit spreadsheet and the free mini training that goes with the spreadsheet, I definitely suggest you open up the description box and read all those links and click the link and sign up so that you can get that free spreadsheet. And literally all you have to do is then just plug in your numbers and it will compute everything for you and tell you what you should price your product at, and then how much of that actual price you get to keep after you make a sale. So once you have your prices set, you can then successfully market your product and your business. However, it is super important for you to make sure that whenever you are marketing your product and your business, you want to make sure that you are getting a positive return on your investment. All right. And so if you want to know how you can make sure that you're getting a profit from all of your marketing investments, I definitely suggest you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because in the next video we are talking all about how to do exactly that. All right, and you don't want to miss out on that. So if you've watched the full video and you still haven't commented letting me know what pricing strategy you currently use, go ahead and comment below right now and tell me the pricing strategy that you are currently using in your business and how you intend on changing that strategy now that you have watched this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler, and if you want to get personal, you can follow my personal Instagram at I am Chanel Q. If you're really about your business and you want to expand your brand, make sure that you check out the following videos on the end screen and binge watch my videos. And other than that, I hope you love today's video. Share it with somebody who needs to see this, and I'll see you for my next video, Hustle Babes. Bye. See you Thursday.